Isn't this tree behind me so beautiful? Hi, my name is Kayla Yasmin, and we're going to just be talking about the importance of learning who you are and the value of understanding self. So, I simply just wanted to talk about why you should focus on you. Okay, number one, there's no point of learning about anybody else. I'm sorry to say it, but there is like you should learn about other things, learn about people's behaviors, sure, but you should only be doing that so that you get a clearer and better understanding of who you are and yourself. To proactively be wanting to change someone or work with someone, or like you see where like, listen, listen. Listen to me. There are types of selfishness, right? There's a selfish where you're just like saying like fuck people. You really don't care about anybody's like well-being or whatever. That's a level of selfishness. But then there's also this aspect of you are setting boundaries and making sure that you are focused on yourself, honestly, for the greater well-being of other people, right? So when you learn more about yourself and when you take the time to learn who you are, you start to understand why you move the way you do, why you act the way you do, and then you get to realize like, okay, is that who I want to be? Is that how I want to express myself? Is that how I want people to know who I am? Like, is that how I want to come off or not? When you learn more about yourself, it's like it's like a video game avatar. Like you can customize like what you're wearing, how that's making you feel, what you're listening to. Like just by learning more about yourself, you're more able to now pinpoint sort of what you like about yourself, what you're willing to change, and not changing it for societal's expectations or standards, but you're changing it because you want to just vibrate at a different, like you just want to be on like a higher frequency, like you just want to vibe at your own level, right? You can't do that unless you know about yourself. If you're following trends, if you're following what everybody else is doing, how the fuck are you gonna know what you actually like? You know what I mean? Like you could be wearing oversized clothes because it's a trend, but you realize you actually really like more like firm fitting clothes, right? You could be, like doing things because that's what everybody else is doing, but you don't realize that when you don't know yourself, it's like you're wearing stuff just to look like everyone else. And realistically, I mean, like most of my content really isn't for the average. Be fucking for real. Most of my content really is for those people who feel different, who walk into the scene and it's like everyone's already looking at you. You already have a power that it's now like, okay, how are you going to, control yourself, control the energy, and like control how you're feeling? Because you can't control anybody else. You can't control the vibe of the room. You can't control anything that's outside of you. It's all about you. So when you know more about yourself, you're more able to know, okay, if I go to this event, then these people are going to be around, and like these types of people are going to be in the atmosphere, or these vibes are going to be around, and I don't really want to be around that, or I don't really vibe with that. That stuff doesn't make me feel good. When you start to listen to yourself and validate how you're feeling, you're now able to say like, okay, like these are the groups of people I want to be around. This is the type of music I want to listen to. This is the clothes that I want to wear. Why? Because I have spent the time to learn who I am and what makes me comfortable, to the point where now I can show up and pop off and be whoever I want to be and not really care what the person next to me has to say because I'm comfortable in my skin. But as you start to become more of you, then people dig it. Like, let's be fucking for real here. Like, people really start to ride the wave. People will tell you to your face, like, oh, that's weird, blah, 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 blah. But next thing you know, you hear them saying the same thing that you said to somebody else, claiming it, you know? So when you move for yourself, like, you're not even phased what other people are doing, what other people are saying about you, because, like, it's about what's making you comfortable. But when you don't know who you are, then you're, like, adjusting and manipulating yourself to be pleasant or to people please to people who don't even know who they are, to people who are going to dick ride off of whatever you're coming up with because they don't even know who they are. So the more you know yourself, the more you set your own trends, the more you set who you want to be. And that's the more where people either they appreciate it and they applaud you and they get inspired by you, or they hate. Look, if you got a few haters, who cares? If someone is hating, I was just telling my friend about this too, because we were just talking about this girl and how like she just not friends with her no more. And I was glad because I was like, the bitch was a weirdo. Excuse me. But she was just weird. And she was just like, oh, like, why did you feel that way towards her? And I was just like, realistically, I didn't even really know her that well, but she presented herself to me as if like she had an issue with me and she didn't even know me. And I know like me and you never had conflict. And if we did, you never told me. So, and it was just like she never, like, we didn't have conflict for her to like, cause when you tell a friend and be like, yeah, this person is a little weird, but you like, you still testing them out. And then so your friend meets them and now they're like, yeah, like now I see what you're talking about. Like, it was none of that. This girl didn't know me, didn't know who I was, knew no prior history of me, but automatically like just didn't fuck with me. And that to me is like, okay, bitch, you're a hater. Like, you just don't like me because there's something about me that you find within yourself that you're blocking that you don't want to accept. So, girl, that's fine. I don't need to be well liked. That's the thing. That's the thing. And that's when it comes when you have such a secure feeling in yourself. And now, let me tell you this too. I am growing into this. I am learning more about myself to be this person because how where I was coming from, heavy on the people pleasing, heavy on doing what everybody else was doing, heavy on feeling like I wanted to be a part of the majority so bad so that I wouldn't stick out because I didn't want to stick out. I didn't want to be seen because I wasn't confident in who I was. Now it's about to start raining. So let me wrap this shit up. The more you learn about yourself, the more you can't be moved. The more that you're so secure in what you're doing and how you're feeling that nobody can gaslight you into feeling like, oh, this person is weird or this person is blah, 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 blah. Don't give a fuck because I know how I feel and I feel this way for a reason. You know what I mean? I'm coming onto the scene dressed like this, talking like this, acting like this because this is what I'm comfortable in doing. And it's not because everybody else is doing it and because I need to be like everybody else. It's because this is what I want to do and this is how I want to show up, and people are going to fuck with that heavier than when you looking like everybody else and you're not different from everybody else around you. It's going to be harder to really be inspired by you because it's going to be like, oh, this fucking person is just like the rest of them. So own your individuality, and the only way you do that is by learning more about yourself. So as you can see, it's starting to rain and I'm using a lot of electricity or electronics. So I'm gonna take my ass inside. But either way, learn more about you. It all starts with you. Okay? You are really important and you are really special. And there's something about you that nobody else is carrying and that nobody has. So when you discover those things about you, now you're inspiring all of these people to get to want to know themselves more. You're inspiring all these people to actually be creative. Like just by being you, you're moving waves of people. You know what I mean? You just have so much power as you are right now. So express that, embody that, even if it's uncomfortable in the beginning, because society makes you feel like you got to be like everybody else. You got to hop on the trends, and that when you're an individual or when you're an individualistic, is that it? Fuck it. Just when you're unique, it's like looked down on. But all of the massive fucking people that we call geniuses and high creators and all of this other shit, they're all weird as fuck. So be the weirdo. Okay, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.